passing credit?
Yeah. Actually, I'm just moving to the area recently.
Steve, you married?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You got kids?
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Your wife's hot?
Real hot.
Was she a model out here in Hollywood or something?
No, she just...
You probably got a hot model sitting at home.
No.
But you know, I could have been at Heidi Fleiss's house tonight. You know who Heidi Fleiss is? The accused madam.
Mm-hmm.
She invited me over. She sent 2 girls over to invite me over to the house. I'm married, so I couldn't go over there.
And yet he's still here at Rockline tonight.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to your...
It's a real bummer.
Absolutely.
I got to get out of here.
Joe, you got a question there, bud?
Yeah, Howard, I'd like to wish you, number one, a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy Hanukkah.
Yes, I'm both.
And in the spirit of the season, I heard you were in need of some Barney tickets.
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. For my kids, I got to get Barney tickets.
Well, I am able to offer these to you.
Well, good. I need that. How much are you selling them for?
I spoke to Baba Booey this afternoon.
Very good.
He would mention it to you, but I know, due to his incompetency, that he may forget.
Let me tell you something. How could you get on here? Did he originally say this is what he was going to talk about Barney tickets?
I think he did.
You know, people actually call in and lie about what they're going to talk about. You think anybody is interested in my Barney tickets, you maniac? There are 5 billion people listening to this program. I'm here to promote my New Year's Eve pay-per-view event. You come on about Barney tickets, you lunatic. This is why you can't stand people. This is why you can't do call-in shows anymore.
All right, Joe, thanks for the offer.
Nincompoop.
We're going to stay in Connecticut.
You got to be a Nazi when you run this show. See, Steve keeps going on like nothing's going on. Guy just called in about Barney tickets. I'm falling asleep during this show. There's somebody who ask a decent question.
Well, let's try Waterbury, Connecticut. Billy is listening to 106 WHCN in Hartford.
Hello, Howard. I got Sesame Street on ice for you if you want it.
Billy, what's your question?
Hey, Billy.
Hi, Howard. I was wondering, do you think the FCC singles you out when it comes to legal measures due to a...
Absolutely, Billy. Billy, you must be a lawyer. The FCC, the United States government, has gone after me. They've singled me out. You know, Oprah does a wacky show. She's got lesbians on there. She's got women who make love to their cats. Phil Donahue has this kind of stuff. Everybody has, lesbian shows, dwarfs and midgets who end up having black children. All these weird sexual topics. Nobody goes after them. Only me. I'm the only one in America that people go after. And why is the government going after me? Because I'm easy. I'm a target. I guess I'm so much of a buffoon, they figure no one will complain. So, I feel like they've selectively gone after me.
Billy, thanks for the call. As Howard mentioned earlier, one of the things we're going to be doing tonight to sort of keep a musical flair to it is we ask Howard to suggest some tunes that we could play.
Does every artist who comes in here, I'm not a recording artist, but everybody gets to pick their own tunes?
For the most part,
Who'd you have on last night?
We had Phil Collins on Monday night.
Phil Collins?
Yeah.
Don't you sense that he has filled in that little strip of hair? I mean, you saw him up close.
Yeah.
Isn't he constantly filling it? Where's his picture?
Right there.
Yeah, you see, he hardly has any hair one time. Then I saw him on the Billboard Awards. I think he's filling in that strip of hair somehow. Is that possible?
Yeah, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah.
You wanted to play some Soul Asylum tonight. I just wanted to know if you could describe your musical taste. I mean, is it broad-based? Is it narrow? Is it?
I think it's very narrow. I prefer new music.
Mm-hmm.
And I like some of the new bands that are out, and Soul Asylum is one of them.
Hot.
I hate the song, Runaway Train, Never Going Back. I want to go make love to another man when I hear that song, you know? I mean, you talk that song drives you into gay sex. But the rest of the album is good.
Yeah.
The rest of this album is good. What tune? I forgot what tune I picked out.
Somebody to Shove.
Yeah, Somebody to Shove. Now, that's a good song, right? You like that one?
Let's play it. Somebody to Shove on Rockline.
Play that song. See, this part's good.
Yeah. Big jam.
Yeah. And I don't want to make love to you, Dirk.
One of Howard's selections for this evening.
Makes me want to chop up somebody and kill him. Yeah. I feel like going on a killing spree after that song.
Back to the phones. Kathy in Manhattan Beach here in the Los Angeles area listening to 97.1 KLSX, which is Howard's station here in L.A. Kathy, you're on with Howard.
And Kathy, you fox.
Howard?
Hey, Kathy, baby. Kathy, you got any good lesbian stories?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes.
Has Rockline ever had a lesbian story before?
I believe this would be a first.
This would be a first.
To my knowledge.
I believe we've broken through in about 12 different kinds of firsts.
I think we have in 24 minutes.
You've actually tried lesbian sex?
Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
How old are you?
You don't ask that.
I'm asking. Well, what do we mean I don't ask that?
I'm 30.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
And what age did you have your first lesbian experience?
About 5 years ago.
Oh,
I
no
lived
kidding.
up north then.
Isn't that odd that you waited till you were about 25 years old to have lesbianism?
No, I don't think so because I was married first.
You were married to a guy?
Yeah.
And he was really bad in bed?
Very.
And he turned you off to men?
Well,
Other women because you're so good looking, aren't you?
I like both.
Are you very good looking?
Yes.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'3".
I'm getting a little uncomfortable. Steve is a little bit aroused right now. It's very, very obvious.
But
Steve, would you mellow out, dude?
Right.
You know, we're trying to have some fun, but you don't have to, like,
This is new
show.
to me, Howard.
Look
okay?
at that thing. Back to Steve, you're enjoying this.
Yes,
you
I
like where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You like lesbian stories.
Run with it.
Okay.
But Howard,
Yeah.
my breast size is a 34 double D.
Oh, my God, those are huge. And yet, you probably don't weigh a lot because you have a very thin waistline, don't you?
Right, I weigh 110.
You weigh 110 pounds. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
And Steve, Steve, I have to smack you because Steve just passed out on the floor. What, I have to give you oxygen during this show?
Where am I?
You have a double D chest,
Yes.
and you are very thin,
Yes.
and obviously when you walk around in a thong on a beach and things like this, people go completely insane, don't they?
Well, I don't know. I don't watch them.
I know, but men have an incredible attraction to you, don't they? Who do you look like? Who would you describe yourself as?
Oh,
Do you look like...
Adrian Barbeau.
Oh, you do? Oh, my God. Oh, my... How fast can you get down to the Rockline studio?
We'll send a car.
You little monkey. And you, so when you had this first lesbian experience, weren't you a little nervous?
Yes, I was.
And how did this come about? I mean, you went to a bar and picked up a woman?
Actually, no. She was my supervisor.
At work?
Yeah.
And you love to go to work wearing little mini skirts and dress sexy, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you wear tops that reveal your chest and things like that, don't you?
Cleavage, yes.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, are you going to interrupt us?
I am.
Do I sense you interrupting this
get
and
that
cutting this
feeling?
up? Are you out of your mind? Do you smell ratings? You've been sitting here for weeks dropping in the ratings. You've got this going on. Are you out of your mind?
Kathy, you got a question in there, please?
What a question. I have a question. By the way, there'll be lots of lesbianism New Year's Eve on my pay-per-view event.
I know.
Call your cable system now.
I've ordered it already.
Oh, okay, great. You're going to have a good time with that.
I do have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Shoot.
Are you going to be recording an album soon? And if so,
What?
who?
We're not doing the lesbian thing?
Well, sure.
All right, well,
Maybe an acoustic lesbian.
you know what? I've actually been approached by record companies to do an album.
Really?
Well, you know, I got the hair and everything
Sure.
for it. It's just one thing. I can't sing and I can't play music.
That never stopped a lot of people.
I mean, I could actually play some songs. One of
Why
my
don't you
tunes.
pick up the guitar? We have a
Thank
guitar in here for Howard. And
This is one of the tunes I was considering playing on my new album.
outstanding.
It's a cover version.
Howard Unplugged.
You might recognize it. Little Yes tune.
Outstanding.
You know, I actually do this on the air on my radio show, and record guys have the nerve to call me up and ask me if I want to do an album. It shows you how insane record company guys are. They must be the same idiots that signed Weird Al Yankovic. That's it.
Beautiful.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, standing ovation.
Howard Stern on Rockline on the Global Satellite Network. We'll be back with more of your calls.
I believe you cut off a lesbian story, you maniac.
What's wrong with
I'm never
you?
doing this show again. There's something wrong when you cut off a lesbian.
We're back with our special edition of Rockline tonight featuring Howard Stern. Be sure to join us this Monday night for part one of our look back on the best of Rockline for 93. Part one will be some of the finest musical performances.
Like?
As evidenced right there just a minute ago by Howard.
Yes.
We'll have Pearl Jam on there. And,
Oh, no kidding.
Phil Collins, a few others who
Very
have
good.
performed live for us here over the last year. And a reminder that our next live show will be on Monday, January 3rd, when we'll kick off the new year with a bang with Guns N' Roses.
Is this show over yet?
We still got a long
How much
way to
more?
go.
How much more is
We
left?
got a long way to go.
Oh.
Okay, let's get back. I tell you what, Howard,
Yes.
we have a very dear friend of yours on the line here who would
Yeah.
like to say hello. Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers.
I called it out. What
Whoa.
are you doing on that show?
How you do? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
Hello,
unconscious
my
from
darling.
this show.
The book is all over the country.
Thank you.
People stop me everywhere I go and say, is Howard as much fun as you make him out to be? I am so proud of what's going on with you.
Joan Rivers has been a big supporter of mine. For those of you who don't get the radio show, Joan comes on a regular basis. I go on her TV show, and Joan and I have actually become friendly. And I write about Joan in my new book. But, you know, I must tell you, and Joan's a good sport. She's somebody who can take a joke.
Yeah, well, up to a point.
Up to a point, yeah, she's getting a little fed up. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Joan has a very exciting new sex life.
We
You know, hey, you want to talk about
We're
sex?
talking for a minute and a half, and you're already into that.
You know, Joan lost her husband, Steve, a couple of years ago. Oh, yes, we are going to discuss it.
It's the holiday
Don't you
season.
call in here the holiday season. I went actually last year, 2 years ago, I went over Joan's house.
Yes.
She had a Christmas party.
At my famous...
She's a Jew with a big Christmas tree. Are you a Jew with a big Christmas tree in the middle of your house? And she's at her house, she's going, oh, we celebrate everything here. We celebrate. I go, no, you're a Jew. You're a Jew.
We celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas and Russian Christmas. We
She is
celebrate
Jew Rivers.
Howard, because we're happy.
You are a Jew.
I know.
Say, repeat after me, Joan. Repeat after me.
I was on Schindler's List.
I am a Jew. Say, I am a Jew.
I am a Jew.
See how she chokes on every word? She can't say it. No, but actually, I went over her house.
What are you doing up so late? How can you get up tomorrow morning and work?
No, actually, I'm in Los Angeles, Joan, and I've taken 2 days off the radio. I did a book signing today. I'm doing the Tonight Show tomorrow.
I heard about the.
Hey, has Jay Leno had you? Has Jay Leno had you on the Tonight Show?
Never.
You know, let me tell you something.
Never asked to be on the Tonight Show, my darling.
That freak Johnny Carson refused to have Joan Rivers on the show, you know, because after all, Joan went to Fox and Joan left. Like, you know, the whole world owes Johnny a living. So, of course, now Jay, I don't know where the hell Jay is, but Jay should have you on. Jay thinks he's Johnny.
To be on the show. You're going on tonight?
I'm going on tomorrow night. I'm going to bring up on the air.
All right, that's great.
I'm going to bring up on the air why you are no longer on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, ask him why I was never invited on.
I'm going to say, listen, you big-chinned bastard. I'm going to say, listen, why? What do you think you are?
Ratings that are slipping.
Yes, I'd say, why? What do you think you are, Johnny Carson? Johnny's sitting there in Malibu like a pumpkin with that beautiful young wife of his, with the liver spots he's got all over his hands, and he's sitting there with that wife staring at the wall. Everybody's got a vendetta.
Joan was actually.
Johnny Carson.
But anyway, let me say something.
Never retire.
Listen, let me say something about Joan. Joan, you hate Johnny, right?
No, I don't.
Why don't you say it? Why don't you say you hate friggin' Johnny?
I don't hate
Say
him,
it. Repeat after me. I hate friggin' Johnny. Johnny is awful.
I don't hate anybody. I'm a very lucky woman.
She hates Johnny.
Nobody.
She tells me off the air how she hates Johnny, but she'll never say it.
I just cross my eyes.
She's become like the President of the United States now. She has an image. But she hates Johnny, and she just won't admit it here on
Are you
Rockline.
having a good time in L.A.?
I'm having a good time.
Is the wife with you?
No, the wife is not with me. I was with Jessica Hahn today, and she'll be meeting me at the hotel for a rub-down later on. No, of course, my wife's not here, but I'm behaving myself. But listen, Joan, speaking about behaving oneself.
Yes.
Joan has a young boyfriend.
Yes, 42 years old.
The guy's 42 years, and Joan is like 63.
Excuse me?
59, I mean.
Excuse me, Howard?
She's 47.
There you go.
Joan, God knows how old Joan is. Right. But the point is, she's got a young man, and, you know,
He's
for
a very
years...
charming, nice man.
For years, how long... When's the last time, Joan,
Howard,
between the time your husband died and the new boyfriend, how many orgasms did you have? You hardly had any.
Except when I was on your show, none.
No, Joan never had orgasms. And now, for the first time... Seriously, when you make love to this guy, you go wild, right?
Howard.
She loves it. She absolutely loves sex now.
Howard,
She's alive.
I called you up to wish you a happy holiday, and I'm getting nothing but abuse.
No, I went to Joan's house for the holidays.
For the holidays.
Let's tell this story.
All right.
I go to Joan's house, and now Joan is a very wealthy woman. She'll have you believe that she doesn't have money.
Howard.
She's worth about...
Very hard.
If you married Joan Rivers, you could back the Brinks truck right up to the apartment because you would be very, very wealthy. So Joan, of course, invites me over for Christmas, and she's having a big party. And I figure, hey, I'm not going to eat because when I get there, I'll fill up on all the good stuff that Joan's going to serve. You get there, there's no food.
Excuse me,
the party went for 6 hours.
We had an English tea.
English tea means finger sandwiches, and literally you take 2 pieces of bread, you put your finger.
Scones and whipped cream and jam.
Joan,
dessert.
Not everyone's anorexic like you. People like to eat at Christmas time.
Howard, everybody was having a great time but you, Howard.
Where's your boyfriend now? Is he over the house?
Yes, he's here now.
He's here now? Let me talk to him.
You can't talk.
Let me ask what he does to you.
I cannot discuss this with you now.
Where is your negligee? Are you wearing it now?
I'm not going to discuss this now.
Have you bathed and perfumed yourself?
Yes, I am.
Are you having lovemaking tonight? Well, I just like the Stone Temple Pilots. I think they're real good. I think they're supposed to be on the Tonight Show right now. Now we're doing the John Wayne Bobbitt Show?
Doing the John Wayne Bobbitt Show.
Hey, have you been with a woman since I last spoke to you? Have you?
I wish I had.
You haven't gotten a woman?
No, not yet.
What's that thing look like, Frankenstein in your pants? I mean, there must be stitches all over it, right?
Hey, Howard.
All right.
Hey, Tony?
Yeah, hey.
Tony, you're on with Howard and John Wayne Bobbitt.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I met you at the B. Dalton book signing.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Let me tell you something. I haven't forgotten you.
What's that?
Nothing.
Hey, Tony, you got a question for John Wayne Bobbitt, or you?
Hey, Steve, are you losing control of the show?
I think very rapidly.
I think you're going to be out of radio real soon.
Could be.
And you know what's lower than radio? You know what the next step down is?
I didn't think there was anything.
Circus clown. You're going to look real cute with that big red nose and those big floppy shoes. Yes?
Tony, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Tony.
John Wayne, yeah, you got any other plans to go on any other TV shows, or you going to have a telethon or anything?
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to do like a Montel Williams, I guess, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Montel Williams.
I did Jenny Jones show, and we did a two-part show back to back. It's the first time she's ever done it. You know, I guess the show was so good, she wanted to continue it, and I was real busy doing that yesterday. And yeah, now Katie Couric and Tom Brokaw.
And then John Wayne will be on tour with Barney. Also, he's doing the whole thing at Radio City Music Hall with the big purple dinosaur. It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking real forward to it.
Really?
Yeah, John Wayne's doing a lot of shows, but the show to watch is New Year's Eve because we can really get into it. We have big rubber penises and stuff that we're going to chop up, and it's going to be pretty wild. Right, John Wayne?
Right.
Yeah.
I just left the club tonight, and a lot of people were talking about, you know, my private part, and they're coming up to me with Howard's new book. What's it called?
Private Parts.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, John Wayne, are you going to pull your pants down on New Year's Eve and show everybody that thing?
Well, if you want me to, I will.
Excellent. That's what we're going to do. New Year's Eve, you will see what John Wayne's holding in his pants. And let me tell you something. I understand it's quite impressive.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. His wife threw it out the window, and they were able to find it. Me, they never would have found it. They would have had microscopes out there. I'm sure a dog would have eaten mine in 3 seconds. Nothing would have been left. My luck. You know, when John Wayne, I'll tell you an interesting story about John Wayne. His wife threw his penis out the window. And John Wayne actually was very lucky when the people who went out to find his penis found it. Do you know they wrapped it up in a hot dog bun? Isn't that true?
Yeah, put it in a big bite.
They put it in a big bite bag. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Is that the sickest thing you ever heard?
Totally.
We're doing a whole big reenactment of what happened. In fact, I play both his wife and John Wayne Bobbitt on New Year's Eve, so you're going to love it. Call your cable company now.
Hey, John, thanks for calling in, buddy, and we wish you all the
He's
best.
not your buddy, Steve. Believe me, he's my buddy. Don't call the guy buddy. It's so personal. Man lost his penis.
It's a special edition of Rockline with Howard Stern. We've got more to come on the Global Satellite Network. It's a special edition of Rockline tonight with Howard Stern for the full 90 minutes. And a reminder that everybody who gets on the air tonight with Howard will get a copy of Private Parts, autographed by Howard, courtesy of Simon & Schuster Publications. My name is Steve Downs. Howard is our guest here in our Rockline studios in Los Angeles. And Howard, we have another good friend of yours on the line again, and I know he's been on your show many times, and you've been on his show. Geraldo Rivera is on the line. Geraldo.
What is this? This is your life?
That's right.
Geraldo, what are you doing up this time of night?
Oh, man, I had Tommy, my nephew, 14-year-old nephew, stay up to keep me up.
Oh, really? He's always giving plugs to his 14-year-old nephew. It's unbelievable. So, Geraldo. You know, Geraldo wrote a book a couple of years ago, right, and he squealed on every woman he ever made love to. And it worked. It was. Why do you say it was a mistake? That was great.
Well, the book was an honest book. That's why nobody sued me. But
it wasn't that honest.
Slack from it, including from you over the years.
It wasn't that honest. You know why it wasn't that honest, Steve? He told me that in the book that Bette Midler he thought was good looking, and he knows that he had sex with Bette Midler just because he wanted to put a celebrity notch on his belt. Tell the truth now, for once, Geraldo. Really analyze it. There is nothing attractive about Bette Midler. You did it because she was a celebrity. If she wasn't a celebrity, would you have been attracted to Bette Midler? No.
Following as I am John Wayne Bobbitt, I hardly know where to begin.
John Wayne Bobbitt. Well, listen, Geraldo. Who else did you make love to? Let's see. Who else? As long as we're talking about.
It was funny. I was in Caracas, Venezuela, when my show's on the air, and at the table, there was a very upper-crust crowd in Caracas. At the table, all these society dames were all very proud of the fact that Lorena actually came from Venezuela. And all the men there are sleeping with zippered pajamas and all that kind of stuff. I think it was.
Are you trying to change this subject from your love life? You are so lucky that your penis never got cut off.
So bored with myself.
No, don't be bored with yourself. You're a fascinating man.
How'd your book signing go? You create a riot out there?
Yeah, it was pretty wild out here, and the book signing went pretty well. But let's get back to your book. So
I want to ask about Steve, how he likes his whole show being like taken over by you.
Hey, listen, Steve's so happy. Steve's half asleep in his chair over there. He's happy when someone takes over.
This is the easiest show I've ever done, Geraldo.
Geraldo, what are you doing up at night anyway? for God's sake.
I'm training for Buttafuoco. That's my big thing.
You know, Geraldo was on my radio show, and I said to him, you got to box. He's a boxer. And I said, if you're a real man, you will box Frank Stallone.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And Geraldo did it. And I actually taped the thing. We had it live on the radio. It was a true bout. And Geraldo really is, Geraldo is a real man. You know, he's very macho.
Twice the size of Stallone, but he can't fight.
Yeah, well, Stallone and Geraldo fought it out. Stallone kicked his ass, but but Geraldo, of course, says he's a much lighter man. So that's the kind of thing.
Geraldo, you want to make a round prediction?
For which fight?
For the Frank Stallone fight.
No, for the Joey Buttafuoco.
For the Buttafuoco fight.
Steve in prison. We're having a satellite hookup.
Satellite hookup.
Really? No, you're not.
Oh, yeah. It's
no
also.
way.
Oh, yes, absolutely. He'll be doing the countdown New Year's Eve. So you wait and see. It's going to be big.
Oh, that's outrageous. When did you get John Wayne Gacy? I hear he's available. He's going to be executed.
Yeah, we'll be auctioning off his clown art during the New Year's Eve event. Yes, he'll be there live, too. We're going to get him sprung. He's going to bury some boys in the backyard after the show.
Steve, you ever think what Howard's nightmares must be like?
I don't even want to think about it.
My nightmare is your mustache attacking me in my sleep.
Hey, Geraldo, thanks a lot for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Geraldo, this was the most unbelievable phone call I've ever heard.
We're going to go to another phone call now. Beacon Falls, Connecticut is where we're headed to 106 HCN in Hartford. Rich is on the line. Rich, say hello to Howard.
Hey, Howard, it's awesome to talk to you, man. I'm a big fan.
How you doing?
Good. You make my morning commute, man. I have to pull over to the side of the road to stop laughing.
But you live in Hartford. You can hear me in the morning?
No, I drive into Fairfield County. I listen to you on K-Rock.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Are you coming to Connecticut?
Why would I come to Connecticut?
I don't know. Kick Sebastian's butt.
I will come to Connecticut when somebody over there is willing to pay more than $25 for the show.
There you go. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think the social impact of your kind of entertainment is?
Come here. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take your head and bang it against your radio as hard as you can. I want to hear your head smash against the radio.
Come on, seriously.
Are you out of your mind? What kind of dumb question is that? What am I, a psychology professor?
Well,
what was his question, Steve?
Something about social impact.
Even Steve fell asleep during your question.
He wanted to know what the social impact of your radio show is on society.
Now, why does a country bumpkin like him need information like that? What is the social impact of my show? Well, I would assume that the show has changed radio. You know how many people in Hartford alone rip me off on a daily basis.
Yes, that's true.
And I think that we've made it a little more, when I say we, I mean the show, Robin, and all the people I work with.
Right, the corporate we.
Yeah, hey, did I tell you to open your mouth when I'm finally, I give this guy an answer and he opens his mouth. But I think that the show has changed how people talk on the radio. The show is shows in general are a little more natural. People talk like real human beings. So I think it's had some social importance.
Rich,
you notice even Steve says penis now.
Really?
All right.
It's a whole new world. Rich, thanks for the call, man. We're going to play some more music here. We want to play some Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. Now, I forgot what song I picked from Guns N' Roses.
Live and Let Die.
Yeah, I like the song. I like the way Guns N' Roses did this song. I thought it was kind of interesting that they took a song like a Paul McCartney song and right out of the clear blue just started doing this song. I never expected them in a million years to do this song. Even on their new album, some of the songs that they cover are pretty unusual songs. I love this band.
Guns N' Roses on Rockline.
You were young and your heart was an open book. You used to say,
That's some voice, isn't it? How do you do that? How's he do that?
world in which we live in makes you wanted and cry.
You going to interview these guys?
Next week. No, January 3rd.
January 3rd?
It's our first show in 94.
Hope they're drunk. Hope they're drunk and took a lot of heroin first. It's going to be real good. Hey, Slash, what do you think? What is the social import of Guns N' Roses? And he vomits in your pants.
It'll be thrilling.
Slash, could you get up off the floor, dude? Crank it up a little. We can't hear it so much. I think I'm selecting good music.
Absolutely. The music's great.
Yeah, now we're rocking. Well, those guys have cleaned up their act, Slash and Guns N' Roses. You know.
Hey, they got the new album's great.
Yeah, it really is good. Spaghetti Incident.
Yeah.
Nice move putting that Charles Manson song on there. Good PR move. Yeah, let's see if we can raise some more money for a mass murderer. Yeah. They actually apologized for doing that. I thought that was very out of character. I thought that Axl would basically say, hey, F you, everybody. I'm going to release a Charles Manson song, and the hell with it. But I thought it was kind of tacky. I thought that was a bad move. What do you think?
You know, I thought, to be honest with you, I'm not as familiar with that particular song. I'd say let's listen to the song and see if the song's anything.
Steve, go bang your head against the wall. You insane? Charles Manson murdered people, senselessly murdered them. I would think recording their songs.
Now, I wonder if he gets royalties on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He does get
He would get like 60 grand. I mean, who wants to give money to Charles Manson?
Good point.
Although you got to think there's some redeeming value there. A guy who carves swastikas in his head.
They live and let die.
You ever hear that comedian talk about, you know, the guy who got kicked out of Guns N' Roses? Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you do to get kicked out of Guns N' Roses? How much of a screw-up can you be?
Disciplinary problem.
Like the band got together and decided he was not workable. What's that all about?
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Yeah. I don't know, some comedian did a whole routine on that.
Yeah.
I like Axl in the that little Scottish number where he wears the dress, and I think he's got pretty nice legs.
Guns N' Roses, Live and Let Die. Howard Stern with us for a special edition of Rockline. We're going to go back to the phones now. San Antonio,
Texas. You guys ever run any commercials on this show?
Occasionally we do.
You guys must be bankrupt.
Well, it's free radio.
No wonder Howard Gilman begged me to do this show. This guy has no money.
Margaret, listening to KZEP 104.5 in San Antonio. You're on with Howard Stern.
Hi, Howard.
How you doing? Now, San Antonio, they don't pick up my show, my radio show, right?
No, I used to watch you. I lived in Nebraska for a couple months, and I used to watch you on, I guess, the Chicago channel on cable.
Oh, yeah, on the maybe on the E! Network or the Channel 9 show that I used to have.
Yeah.
Hey, what about you? Are you motivated to order the pay-per-view event New Year's Eve?
Well, I don't have cable here, but I know a few people that do. I didn't really know about it because...
You don't have cable?
No, I don't.
Well, I would commit suicide if I didn't have cable.
What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, what's that all about? Is this 1993? Hello?
I know. Well, okay, I just really had a comment to make.
I don't have cable. Do you have a refrigerator?
No, I don't...
We chill the food in the backyard. Yeah, all the milk goes sour, though, so we just get it right straight from the cow. Pasteurization's a thing of the past. Yes, go ahead. No cable. That's good.
No, okay.
Didn't you move to an area that had cable? I would. That would actually influence where I lived.
No, we have cable. I mean, there's cable services here, but...
Well, you can't afford cable.
No, it's not me that pays the bills, so...
Who pays the bills? Your parents?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
You still live with your parents and you're 19?
Yeah, I'm going to school.
And your mommy and daddy pay the bills?
Yes.
Can't you find some sucker to marry you and pay all the bills?
No, I can't. Not yet.
Margaret, what's your, you said you had a comment.
Yeah, I just, I don't know if people really, I mean, I know all the hype that you get about your show and stuff, and I don't know if people really understand that,
I barely understand it.
I don't know if people really understand the fact that when we let the FCC control, actually put stricter guidelines on what's aired, that's really, really the time when we become a complete totalitarian society.
You never totalitarian.
Totalitarian society.
What college you go to?
And, I mean...
All right, listen to me. You are absolutely 100% correct. Anytime the government starts telling us what we can listen to, we're in bad shape. You know, people blame my radio show for all the bad things that are going on in the country. And yet, you know, you look at Nazi Germany, I don't think the Howard Stern radio show was on the air. And I don't even think they had violent television. And that was the most violent society in the world. And in Bosnia today, violent society, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's a little bit, yeah.
Steve, are you aware there's a problem over there?
I'd say they get a little rough.
Steve, I don't know. Steve, you want to answer?
I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, all right, good.
But I am seeing a little halo around you.
Yeah, but in Bosnia, you see even today, there's no Howard Stern radio show. There's no violence on television. Whenever you have a totalitarian, or as she says, a totalitarian society, it's very bad. It's bad. Yeah. She's right. Are you wearing underpants?
Difference, if we like it or not. It's
You're absolutely right.
Thankful that we can hear something.
I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to you.
No,
are you wearing underpants?
I am indeed, as a matter of fact. Big striped boxers.
I see.
Margaret, thanks for the call. We're going to go to Philly.
Hey, Margaret,
now.
that was a great call.
Dennis is listening to us on Howard Station there in Philadelphia, 94 YSP. Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
You're on.
Hey, Howard.
What's happening?
Happy holidays.
Well, same to you.
Howard, I just want to let you know, Carol and I wake up every morning and we laugh our asses off listening to your show.
Yes.
My question to
This
you,
man has
Howard,
no ass. I'm not kidding. He literally has no
why
ass.
in the most technologically advanced country in the world do we have to order these little boxes in order to get the pay-per-view when we have cable-ready televisions? What's that all about?
You want to hear my rap on this, Steve? I don't mean to. I don't want to do one big long commercial on this, so I'll just shut up after this. Sure. But it's really weird. The reason I suggest if you want to watch my New Year's Eve special, which is really going to be the most unusual television ever, it's going to be a beauty pageant and a lot more. But when you order it from cable systems, some of the cable systems, you have to go get a converter box. It's always very confusing. So that's why I recommend you call early. If you can call now a cable system, you can at least get signed up. Because there's always confusion with cable and pay-per-view. It's a real nightmare. But the only way you can get to do really outrageous television on a big scale is to go on pay-per-view. Right. Because you can't do it on network. Networks are too uptight. You know, you end up doing like the Letterman show or the Leno show, stuff like that. Instead of that, you can go on pay-per-view and do anything you want. A woman has the need to take her top off. She can do it on a pay-per-view special. It can be done. God bless pay-per-view. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're still here? The show's not over yet?
No, we still got some more to go.
I've been talking endlessly.
Dennis, thanks for the call. We're gonna. You had Janice Ian on your show sometime back.
One of the people that is going one of the I think highlights of the New Year's Eve show is going to be when Janice Ian comes on. I had her on my radio show, and we wrote a song about Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was at the time dating a 17-year-old. And I thought that was amazing. I think Jerry's a funny comedian, but come on, that is really goofy. A 17-year-old? I mean, he's that bored? He ran out of models to date? So I wrote a song, and I didn't know Janice Ian real well, and I said, Janice, I wrote a song about Jerry Seinfeld, and I'd like to perform it with you. So she was a little uptight. She started playing, and I started singing. And then all of a sudden, Janice really got into it, and she started singing. And we've never performed this song live anywhere, but for the first time together, New Year's Eve, we will perform it live with some very special footage of Jerry and his 17-year-old. So I think you'll enjoy this song. This is one of the songs we'll be performing New Year's Eve. Hey, Jackie, get that microphone.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually, we don't need it from the guitar. We're good, okay. I think I'm going to come in here. Seinfeld's girl is 17 and innocent with double D's. He saw those breasts and flipped his lid for a real young busty high school kid. A horny, lonely TV geek. Her major jugs made Jerry weak. Can't he find girls his age to date? She's 17 and she's jailbait. You want to do one? Let's try it.
He takes her out in New York town, that lovely girl and the TV clown. She barely shed her training bra. She'd kiss his lips for candy bars. Some nice girl you turned, oh no, some nice guy you turned out to be. Oh, this is yours.
Did she sit upon your knee?
You shouldn't really grope for them at 17.
All right, I'll take the next one.
Please.
Will her panties smell like a rose? Is Seinfeld just like Piscopo, seducing girls in a limousine while his fans think that he's so damn clean? Fell for an old man from TV. Did her pubic hair grow in last week with fresh and firm and round butt cheeks at 17? All right, you go.
Can't he find some older dame? Do private parts all look the same? Does he make her parents shout when he sticks his tongue in her mouth? Does he think that he's a stud? He should drown in a frigging flood for fooling with a girl
who's 17. Now, Jerry, I ask you, do you have a brain? When you see her, do you make a stain?
I'm glad this is your verse.
Can he get an older girl? He's damn near old as Milton Berle. You're making such a spectacle, thinking with your testicles. If you're gonna make some glue, you should date girls as old as you. What do you think? Is that a hit?
I think
So, Steve, I was really thrilled when Janice agreed to do that. I was really thrilled, and the song turned out so well that we're going to perform at New Year's Eve. And Jerry hates that song. Jerry was a fairly good friend of mine and refuses to speak to me now because of the song.
Would be the operative word then.
Exactly, and in fact, I go into great detail about this story in my new book, Private Parts.
That's Howard Stern, of course, with Janice E. And Howard is with us live here on Rockline. More of your phone calls to come on the Global Satellite Network. Howard Stern is with us on a special and undoubtedly a memorable edition of Rockline tonight, and we're going to get right to the phones now. Debbie is in Zanesville, Ohio, listening to us on FM 106 WWJM in New Lexington. Debbie, you're on with Howard Stern.
Zanesville.
Howard?
Hi.
Hey, you?
It's me, baby.
Is Howard?
Yeah, listen to you.
Hey.
You been drinking tonight?
Well, it took a 12-pack to get to you.
I knew she was drinking.
I bathroom twice.
Sounds loaded.
What gave it away for you?
That's attractive.
From the couch, but
I love when a woman talks about how she went to the bathroom twice already tonight. That's always so enticing. So good to hear your bathroom habits.
Debbie, what's your question there, babe?
Debbie, what is going on? Debbie can't even remember her question.
Yes.
What is it?
Hey, Debbie, how do you know me anyway? I mean, you don't hear the radio show.
I know, Howard. I read about you.
Oh, you read about me in the paper and you hear
and
that
Howard, I'll say right off
Yeah.
that I did not like you at first.
Right.
But now I love you.
You mean you didn't like me because you read about me?
Yeah.
And now that you heard me, you like me?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then you'll enjoy me New Year's Eve. Tune into the pay-per-view.
I've got that on my list. I got to go up there and get that pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. And when you call, make sure you're not drinking because you'll I don't know, you'll mess up the phone call. You won't get it right. And you must have a question.
Yeah, I do. You ever notice, on Roseanne? Now, I love Roseanne.
You know she's never going to get to the question.
No, I know.
We're going to be asleep. This show's going to be over by the time.
For days.
So you have to say to yourself, Steve, do we stick with the call or do you bail?
Roseanne, she has time on there.
Yeah.
And that the only girl that she lets all over him is the ugliest lesbian you ever saw, Sandra Barnhart.
All right, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You like Sandra.
You're from Ohio. You're so out. No, I don't care about Sandra. But you are so out of it, you don't even know how to say her name. Her name is Sandra Bernhardt. But you've been drinking and hitting the sauce for so long, you're so unaware of culture that Sandra Barnhardt. Do you understand? Hello? Is she in a coma?
I think she faded.
Debbie, in the bottle.
Thanks, I think. Claire is in Pilltown, PA, listening to 94 YSP in Philly. Claire, you're on with Howard.
Hi, Claire.
Howard, my morning savior.
Claire? That's a woman's name.
For you.
You know you have a girl's name?
Yeah, I know.
Your name is Claire?
My dad got jinxed and blamed it on me.
Who would name their son Claire?
Hi, it's a guy's name, too.
No, it is not a guy's name.
Yes, it is.
It's like you ever meet guys who say they're nurses and they say... Hey, listen to me. You ever meet guys who say that they're nurses and they say that's a guy's job, too? It's not. You know it's a woman's job. Everyone's thinking you got a woman's job. Claire is a woman's name.
Name, okay?
Claire, what's your question there, buddy?
I have a question. Robin's been talking a lot about the newspaper articles about cable and then cable movies and TV deals. When and if would you be announcing these?
Hey, Steve, can I call you Sue?
Come on, Howard.
You mind, man?
If I can call you Bernice.
No, Holly. I prefer that.
Holly? Okay.
Yes. Claire, this is Holly. Sue, what do you have to say? Claire? Well, you must have gotten your ass kicked your whole life being called Claire, huh?
200 pounds. Not many people kick my ass.
All right, take it easy, pal. No one's looking for a fight here. What was his question, Steve? Interpret that for me. You seem to understand your audience.
Claire, repeat the question there.
Repeat the question? We got to sit through that again? Does anybody out there understand the question?
Oh, okay. He wanted to know if you were going to be doing a TV or film. There's been talk of you doing a TV show.
Ever since my book became very popular and the radio show has done so well and my television show on the E! Network did well, and all these things combined, I now have some pretty exciting possibilities. I'm talking to some studios that want me to do a film. A couple of studios want to make a movie out of the book based on the Howard Stern, that you read about, the autobiographical elements. And then some of them actually have a great... There's one studio I met with has a great concept for a film that I think would be really good. And then also there's some opportunities in television that I might be going for pretty soon.
Claire, thanks for the call. Speaking of film, we're going to play a track that you suggested from the Last Action Hero soundtrack, the Alice in Chains tune.
Now, this is a good tune. You like this tune?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great tune. It's a great band, Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains is real good.
What the Hell Have I from Alice in Chains on Rockline.
Now, this is The Last Action Hero. I love this song.
Yeah.
Now, Last Action Hero is a really bad movie.
But a great soundtrack.
And in fact, if you buy the soundtrack, only listen to the first 4 songs because the whole rest of the album sucks. It's amazing. But I think just for this song alone, it's worth buying the soundtrack to Last Action Hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is good. I can see why the youth of America is on drugs, though. You listen to this, you really, this is like music to shoot up by, isn't it? I mean, really. What else would you do to this?
You know, I think we've got kind of a theme here tonight with the music that you suggested, though. They're all either death songs or...
Yeah. I picture, like, River Phoenix listening to this and then laying out in front of the Viper Club, like 2 minutes later.
You're going to try and get down to the Viper Club while you're here in L.A.?
Yeah, I don't know. Too many bodies strewn in front of it, man. It's hard to get in. Stepping over all those nasty celebrity bodies. That was kind of sad, River Phoenix, right?
It was very sad, very sad.
Yeah, I see you're all broken up.
Yeah,
you didn't even miss your lunch that day. All right, turn this off. Let's take more stupid phone calls.
Okay.
Let's talk more about my pay-per-view event New Year's Eve.
Let's go on down to New Orleans and 99.5 WRNO FM. Chuck is listening to us down there. Chuck, you're on with Howard.
Hey, Chuck. Is that my
Howard.
Hey, Chuck, is that my station down in New Orleans?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm on a station in New Orleans. I didn't know the name of it.
Right.
Hey, of course,
I'm
sure you know about Mardi Gras down here in New Orleans.
No, we never heard of that.
If Mardi Gras crew asked you to be a grand marshal of their parade this year, would you come to New Orleans and prove your king is king of all media?
Let me ask you something. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, does that mean it fell? What's he talking about? I don't know. I screwed that up.
He wants to know if you went down, would you be the you know how they have the kings in the Mardi Gras parade?
Yes. I would not go to Mardi Gras. There's a bunch of mental patients running around down there. I have no interest in being a part of it. No, I don't know. Mardi Gras, I don't know. I'm not a Mardi Gras kind of dude. I like to stay in the house and hide. So I don't know if I'd fit in Mardi Gras.
Jack, thanks for the call. We're going to go to Jeff now, who's listening to us on 97.1 KLSX. Jeff, you're on with Howard Stern.
Yeah, you're talking to the king of the Mardi Gras.
King of the Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I want to go down there and be the king of the Mardi Gras.
Hey, Howard, I was fortunate enough to be at the book signing today.
Yeah.
And I was part of the L.A. funeral shows, and, hey, it's been a great experience.
Thank you.
And I got a question for you. Tell me, what will Robin and the rest of your gang be doing on the pay-per-view show?
Well, actually, New Year's Eve, I have a role for everyone on there. Robin will be rollerblading in. She's going to do a big dance number, and she'll actually do it on rollerblades. So the woman I work with every day will be on rollerblades. She's been practicing now for months. It's going to be choreographed. It's going to be beautiful. My producer will be part of it. Gary Baba Booey Delabate will be unveiling a new dance called Do the Baba Booey. And, of course, my writer, Jackie Martling, Fred Norris, those guys will be a part of it. You got to really tune in. It's a high-concept show. It's a beauty pageant. It's going to be pretty wild. As a matter of fact, I shot something for the New Year's Eve show the other day. It's me as Michael Jackson, and you will swear I'm Michael Jackson. A guy who did the makeup for the Michael Jackson character for me, this guy, Ralph Sorella, did it, and it looks so much like Michael Jackson. And within 2 minutes, the door slams on the parents. I tell Mr. and Mrs. Stupid goodnight, and I've got their little boy on a metal frame bed, and I'm giving him electroshock therapy with battery clamps on his nipples. And it's really a phenomenal sketch. In 3 minutes, it will blow your mind. And, of course, we're not saying that Michael Jackson's guilty, even though I think he is. Even though we all agree that he's got to be up to something. But I think that, I don't know that Michael Jackson's guilty, but this is sort of what if he is guilty. This is what's going on in his boudoir.
Jeff, thanks for the call. Joe is...
You know, 5 years ago, I was screaming about Michael Jackson. I said, what the hell is this guy? You know, the guy would show up with that little Webster on the little black child, Webster.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't you think that was peculiar?
Peculiar, yes.
It was. And he's working him like a puppet, you know? God knows where Michael Jackson's fist was to work those puppet heads. But for God's sakes, I'm looking at this thing. I say, something's wrong here. But everyone says it's fine. So I just kept my mouth shut, I guess, after a while. I gave up.
We're going to go now to 94 HJY in Providence. Joe is listening to us there. Joe, you're on with Howard.
Hey, Joe.
Howard, how you doing?
How you doing?
Big fan.
Now, how are you a big fan?
Well, I listen to another station here at nights.
Right.
In the Boston area.
Oh, I see. You listen to, okay, so you get our show. Good.
Right. And I want to let you know that I ordered pay-per-view today. No problem.
You'll have a good time with it. It'll be like television you never saw before.
Oh, I know it. You still love Channel 9.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to ask you, what made you decide to set the record straight with Yoko Ono? You're always on her case.
No, I'm always on Yoko's case because she annoys me. You know, as a matter of fact, I once made a phone call to Rockline Yoko was a guest on this show years ago, and I called in. I disguised my voice as a guy named Douglas, and I went, "Hi, Yoko. How you doing? Hey, what did it feel like to ruin the Beatles?" You know, I mean, it was just kind of interesting. I am not a big fan of Yoko's. I had Julian Lennon on my show the other day, and we were talking about it. And Julian, you know, has not received any money, very, very few dollars from Yoko in terms of his father's estate. I don't know. I do blame her for the breakup of the Beatles, and I still refuse to believe that John was in love with her. I believe hypnotism was used on John. I can't believe John, out of all the women in the world that he could have had, he went for Yoko Ono. I mean, I see girls in Japanese massage parlors that are better looking than her. Come on. Do you accept that?
Well,
it is. It's odd.
I suppose to each his own, but...
It's like when you tune in and see Ted Danson with Whoopi Goldberg. You go, something's wrong in America.
What's
that doesn't make any
here?
sense. Guy's a leading man.
Really. Joe, thanks for the call. Cliff is in Richmond, Virginia, listening to XL 102. Cliff, you're on with Howard.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey, Cliff.
Great talking to you.
You know Cliff is a woman's name?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was
I think that's Cliffine.
That's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw you on the Jon Stewart show on MTV.
Right.
And I was wondering, you know, you told that guy about how he read your book in 6 minutes.
Yes.
That it took you 5 years to write it.
Well, no, actually, I'd been thinking about writing a book for I don't know, about 9 years. I kept a computer in my house chock full of stuff that I was going to write about. And then when I signed with Simon & Schuster to write a book, actually it took me a total of about seven and a half months to write the whole book. And I wish I had actually had more time to do it. But I'm very, very pleased with how it came out. People are telling me that they're getting a laugh a page, and people are really enjoying the book.
Yeah. And it's really interesting, and it shows a side, you know, sort of the inside of radio as well, you know. And
I think it shows the sensitive side.
It's the sensitive view.
Doesn't it, Steve?
I think it does. I wept in several places.
Nothing wrong with two guys being sensitive with one another.
It's the 90s. You know, it's kind of that Iron John thing.
You hairy bastard.
Where did we go wrong? Back with Howard Stern on the Global Satellite Network.
Well, you dudes have a lot of public service announcements on this show.
We try to get as many as we can.
The Grateful Dead trying to prevent forest fires. Sting trying to save the rainforest.
They do a hell of a job. Let me get some quick...
You guys got to get some commercials on here.
We're working on it. I think we'll have a few after tonight.
There'll be a sponsor somewhere.
I want you to join us Monday night for part 1 of our year in review with the best Rockline features of the year, the finest live musical performances, etc., and the best of Rockline part 2. Then in January, we'll be back live with your chance to interview Guns N' Roses on the 3rd and Rush on the 24th. Special thanks.
Rush? I thought those guys dropped off the face of the planet.
They're doing real good. I
thought they were laying in front of the Viper Room.
They got a great new album.
Wow.
Special thanks tonight to Don Buchwald of Don Buchwald Associates, to Haley Sumner and Joanne DeGennaro of Dan Cloris Associates, to Dorothy Melvin, Jeff Erdell, and Bob Abramoff for all their special help. Doug Dombrowski of Alert Records, to Burn Audio, to Joan Rivers, Geraldo Rivera, and John Wayne Bobbitt. Have I lost it completely?
No, you're doing good. Actually, I was kind of amazed how good you read until you got to Geraldo Rivera. Messed that up. But there's also many members of the press here tonight.
We have a lot. We have several TV stations here in the Los Angeles area with us, and some newspaper people too.
Do you usually have
an event? No, we don't. We rarely do.
When Phil Collins was here, there were two janitors watching.
Well, right? actually, Phil was in New York at the time, but
people don't realize we have a whole audience here tonight.
Well, yeah, usually it's just the guest and I and the crew here, but wherever you go, man, it's an event.
Well, Steve, you have done an amazing job tonight.
Thank you.
I mean, I've never been interviewed like this before. What time is it? Is it finally over?
It's finally over.
Steve, you were great. I want to thank you, and thank you for helping me to promote my New Year's Eve pay-per-view special. I think people will love it.
Great.
I think it will be something very, very different. And thank you for helping me promote my book.
Absolutely, and we'll see you on the Tonight Show tomorrow night.
Tonight Show with Jay Leno tomorrow night. I am avoiding a pre-interview. They've been trying to track me down.
I know.
You know why? They want to tell me what not to talk about.
I don't.
I'm going to talk about anything I want. Screw them. Screw the Tonight Show.
Howard Stern, I'm Steve Downs.
Screw Rockline.
See ya. You've been listening to Rockline, brought to you by Iowa, makers of the new Minimax 3500. Iowa, I hear ya. Rockline is engineered by Jimmy Rash, Chris Lindsley, and Richard Wynn. Technical direction by Mike Correa. Talent acquisition, Richard Kimball. Thanks to Jim Jacob, Greg Jernigan, Kevin Stevens, Elizabeth Wood, Julie Leitner, and Brian Griffith for their special help. Rockline is produced by Jim Villanueva. Executive producer, Howard Gilman. I'm Steve Downs. Rockline is an exclusive presentation of the Global Satellite Network.
$1,000 or more if you